Good afternoon and welcome to the Mike Show for Tuesday, June 30, 2025. 89 degrees at 1:16 p.m. and I am your host, Fa Kamal, and I'm a sinner. And I'm powerless and my life is unmanageable. Humility and gratitude are the keys to life. It's always today, it's always now. My life is not my own. My will not be done. There's no reality but God, and the only thing we have to do is die. So how are we going to live today? How are we going to live today, Max? And I hope and pray I can live from my heart a life based on faith and not fear. It's a hot one up here today in this bucolic Dorf I call home on the last day of June 2026. Oh boy, the humidity is only 62. The dew point is at 74. So it's pretty sticky. And I know people that live in other places that are hotter and more humid. Well, you get used to it when you're living there. And I'm sure I would too, but this is the way it is up here. And I acclimate. I don't like air conditioning. I just keep hydrated and do what I can do, because there's nothing worse to me than having weather like this and then go from like going into a store and then having to come back out and you literally wilt when you hit that heat and humidity and dew point again. But anyway, we got out of bed about 8:30. It was tough getting out of bed. The girls all wanted to go outside. They were grounded and I stuck to it. Max went out. Else kind of wanted to go out, but then didn't go out. But I stuck to my guns as far as not letting the girls out because they're grounded. And I wanted to enjoy my coffee for a change and not wonder where they were and when they're going to come home. And besides that, it's just too hot out there for them. These young ones, they don't have the sense like when it's hot out there on other days it's been hot, where there's water out there and they don't drink it. They just sit there and pant. Anyway, we've had a pretty busy day so far, but we should probably do a recap from yesterday to try to stick to some kind of format. Yesterday's thumbnail was a shot of our beloved Blackie. Probably do him again today. I found a picture of him with Max and him playing from way back when. Uncle Blackie. He was a good uncle. Else loved him. He was a good boy. He showed up in 2005 around Thanksgiving time. We officially adopted him on December 7th, 2005. And he was neutered, so he belonged to somebody, and the neighbor that used to live over in that house back then told me she literally saw some kids abusing him, kicking him and stuff. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, those kids are lucky that I didn't see them abusing that cat. Anyway, Blackie was a good boy and he had a quiet, noble dignity about him. And we lost him in 2013 in September. I had no idea how old he was, but he was older. He was definitely an older cat. I wouldn't be surprised if he was 16 to 18 years old when we lost him. But Razzie was the priority at the time because Raz was 18 and had so many health issues. That was in 2011. And we lost Raz in November of 2011, actually October. And it was shortly thereafter, sometime in 2012, when Blackie started showing the signs of having kidney disease, and sure enough, he did. And we got him on fluids and the special diet and did all we could for him. And I think we've got well over another year out of him. Maybe even close to 2. And when it was time to let him go, I remember it was a Sunday. And his regular doctor had something going on, some kind of family event, high school reunion or class what do you call it, graduation party, something along that line. And she said she could meet me at the office, or she'd call Kathy, the vet down in Alcona County, see if she'd meet me at her office and take care of him. And so that's what we ended up doing, because it just gave me time to say goodbye to Blackie. I'd been doing it for a long time. But to have a drive down there with him and, have a good cry there and a good cry on the way back, and get back to everybody who was still here at the time, which would have been Uncle Stu, Uncle Sage, Auntie Elsie, Maxie, Mikey, Chloe, and I think Joseph. Am I missing anybody else? Yeah, Autumn wasn't here yet. Was Tony? No, Tony was gone. But anyway. And Else loved her Uncle Blackie. She really did. He was a good boy. And with that, we're going to take a little break here. Welcome back. And I don't really mean that. And I didn't mean it when I said good afternoon either. I think I might have already said that. Mackie's underneath the bench over there. Elsa's been liking that spot. In fact, she was there most of the morning. We didn't do a whole lot yesterday. I think it rained most of the day. I honestly can't remember much about yesterday. I know it did rain. It cleared up late in the day, and I did a kettlebell workout, and I know I probably went and did some shopping. I think I picked up some groceries at Aldi. I went to Full Bore Firearms. Jeff was working on my Smith, but he still can't figure out why it's locking up. He got a new part for it that he thought was the problem, and that didn't work. And anyway, oh boy. But yeah, we just hung out here with the cats. We read to them last night. I can't remember what movie we fell asleep watching. I think it was The Colditz Story. Spent some time watching some clips and segments on women's basketball, WNBA, and I still can't believe what's going on there, but it's the way this country is now, and so it doesn't really surprise me. But the WNBA was subsidized by the NBA for 27 years because people just didn't want to go see the games. And then along comes Caitlin Clark, and all of a sudden, arenas are getting sold out. People are going to the games, watching the games on TV. The teams go from flying commercial to having, chartered planes, etc., etc. They start making all of them start making more money. And since that woman has entered the league, they've been doing nothing but abusing her and using her as a punching bag. And nobody's doing anything about stopping it. I don't know why she stays. If I had that kind of talent and was facing that kind of abuse, I'd go to Europe where they play civilized. And part of the problem is there's a lot. There's no doubt about it, because it's not just with her that it's happening, but there's a lot of black lesbians in that league. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with lesbians or whatever. That's their thing, fine. But that's part of the reason they hate her, because she's straight and white. White's probably the biggest thing. And the girl can play ball. And they're jealous. And they'd rather kill the goose that lays the golden egg rather than, go with the flow. But that's it's about the same logic and mindset in the WNBA as it is running Blue Cities. Don't take care of the honest people that are paying all the bills. Cater to the deadbeats. The latest incident with Clark, there's three women on one team just literally mugged her, And I'm just stunned. And it's literally been like this the whole time she's been in the league. She don't get much help from players, certain ones. But anyway, no, it is. It's just blatant racism, sexism, and the fact that they can't admit that a white girl can play basketball so good. And I saw another thing, and more than one though, but it's like women's sports, like some years back when the women's soccer team won the world championship, the U.S. World, they were beaten by a team of 14 or 15-year-old boys. And I think it's the same thing as far as talent level as the WNBA. I think a team of high school boys could beat them too. I'm not saying I'm sure they're far better at playing ball than I am, but anyway. So that's all I'm going to say about that. We're going to take another little break, and I'm going to get an iced coffee. And we are back again. I just brought Elsie the juice from a can of tuna. I made tuna salad earlier. She getting a drinky. She likes that. She's doing pretty good today. So anyway, like I mentioned earlier, we got out of bed around 8:30 and moving pretty slow. And it was so humid and steamy here. When I went in to water my lily first thing this morning, I looked at the mirror. It was covered in steam, humidity, whatever it is. I'm like, really? I'd never seen it do that before, but it was like kind of like it was after you take a shower, you know. It was just covered in moisture. Not as bad as after a shower, but you could see it. I mean, it was like I was looking at it without my glasses on. It was fuzzy looking, you know, but I had my glasses on. Anyway, so yeah, we got up, had coffee and wake up time, sitting here on the porch, and got almost every window open out here. I'm thankful for the breeze. Had big ideas about mowing the lawn today, but that got put on hold. But what possessed me to get going on it was I vacuumed today and scrubbed the kitchen, bathroom, and dining room floor, and then cleaned the bathroom, washed the showers and whatnot, and the sink. And on a humid day like this, and it was nearly killing me, I gotta tell you. It's brutal. But anyway, and we made mail, did our yoga stretching. I got one more thing, little routine that I usually do. What else did we do? I boiled some eggs to make egg salad with. I made tuna salad after I made mayo. Washed dishes, and I got another sink full to do after I did all that prep in the kitchen. Had a cold, thin, watery gruel for breakfast. Went to Save-A-Lot, picked up a watermelon, some bananas, some candles, and some treats for the Sweetses, some of that Frisky Party mix. We're out of feline greenies, and I don't feel like going anywhere to go get those, so anyway. What else? It seemed like we did more than that this morning. The usuals, you know, emptying all the Noogie boxes, and that's something else we got to do is get some litter. I got to start stocking up on that, especially when it's on sale. A lot of times at Meijer, you can buy one and get one for 30% off. And we go through it a lot because the girls were raised in a house. Most of the cats we've had here over the years were strays that learned how to poop and crap and pee outside and do whatever. My girls learned to use a litter box. And so they can be outside for hours. They do not dig a hole and go out there. So we go through a lot of litter, not quite as much as when Sullivan was sick with kidney failure and kidney disease. We were going through 50 pounds a week then, but I'll tell you. Oh boy. We're going to take another little break. Probably be back to close because I'm just yammering. And we are back to close. There's the old iced coffee. It's tasting good. Wouldn't be surprised if I make me another one of them. But yeah, today's definitely a day to eat things like tuna salad or egg salad. We'll be making that in the afternoon. I got a watermelon. Like I mentioned, we'll probably be eating a lot of that. drinking lots of water and thinking cool thoughts. So that's all we got today from the cold gray ashes and coals of my cold black heart. My broken, beaten, battered, bruised, bloody, burdened, empty, hollow, cracked, shattered, hopeless, forsaken, forlorn, bitter, angry, tired, resentful, twisted, convoluted, confused, grieving, happy, sweating, and grateful soul. Piss off. Happy, terrific Tuesday, and thank you for not tuning in.